Hello and welcome to the new moon in Aquarius activation. I'm Adrienne Elise. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Wow, the energy is really intense. It doesn't often work out for these activations to happen right when the new or full moon is, but it's pretty cool when it does. So right now, in the next few minutes, we are having the exact new moon in Aquarius, and this is a huge new moon because it signifies the new moon or the new year, the Chinese New Year. So really moving out of the depth of the darkest time of winter in the Northern Hemisphere, and also moving into a whole new energy according to Chinese astrology. So 2017, tomorrow marks the beginning of the Chinese New Year. And so 2017 is the Chinese New Year of the Fire Rooster. And that really fits the energy of the nodes, the North Node moving into Leo in May of this year. And we're feeling a glimpse of that as we head into this moon cycle, because this is a new moon in Aquarius. And so the full moon that's coming in 2 weeks is in Leo. That's also the first eclipse of 2017. And so this Leo energy is really important for 2017. Also, the opposite Uranus, or the opposite sign of Leo, is Aquarius, where the South Node is going to be. So we're really looking at this Aquarius and Leo axis as the eclipses this year are going to fall in these signs. And so we're having this new moon in Aquarius and moving into the year of the Fire Rooster. So what's the Fire Rooster about? Well, and what are we coming from? We're coming from the year of the fire monkey. And the monkey is about being adaptable. It's about being changeable. It's about moving around to adjust to things, and being able to be mobile and light on your feet. So the rooster is staying at home. The rooster is staying at home, and the rooster is protecting the family. But the rooster is also very showy. And so there's a lot of loyalty energy here. There's a lot of fire. With a fire rooster, it's an expression. This is a year with this Leo energy and the fire rooster to express the truth of who you are. Now, this is what's been going on for this last 4 or 5 years of astrology, this breakdown. And with Uranus and Aries, it's a breakdown. In Pluto and Capricorn, we're looking at this identity. We're breaking down our identity, the idea of who we are. And we haven't yet seen a manifested outward expression of this yet in the world. And so this Leo energy and the firecock is about showing this truth, standing up for who you really are. And that's a complete revaluation. And a certain soul group right now on the planet, and a bunch of soul groups under that, of the first wave of star seeds, are really getting activated into this. And it's a complete revaluation. We're finding that the things that were wrong about you, or you thought were wrong about you, maybe you were oversensitive, maybe you're too aware of things going on around you, and this has made it hard for you to live in this plane. And then all of a sudden, it's like realizing that that's the greatest gift you could have as a human, and not just for you, but for the rest of the planet, because it's time to embody a new and different way. And that has to do with recapturing our part of ourself that may have been cast aside. And that in our patriarchal society, we talked about was a lot of the aspects of the feminine. And so the feminine is trying to exist, but not in its whole form. And so it leads to this whole energy of parts of ourselves, especially our sensitive and intuitive and psychic sides, a healing part of ourselves, has been literally, through generations on the planet, persecuted. This part of our society has been persecuted. So that part of ourselves has been persecuted, since we're all part of one whole. And so the big change right now is this revaluation, where we thought maybe it was stature and money and you know, what we had that had us in our position in this world that made us feel valuable. But what this year is about is this Leo expression is coming around, expressing the gifts of who we really are. Now that energy is coming forward right now, very strong, setting the tone for 2017 with Chiron and Venus coming together and squaring up with Saturn. And Saturn's a task maker. He's saying, let's do this. Let's get to work. Let's be real about it. You know, enough of this blubbering around. Like, let's make some, you know, build something and make a reality check here. And so the goddess is getting a reality check in her woundedness. And so we're really taking a look at our parts of ourselves that have been cast aside or fractured within, and a revaluing is happening. So this is happening in our big world too, into our collective consciousness. And so we are getting ready to express new ways of being in this world, new understandings that have been brewing within over this last 4 or 5 years of this Pluto-Uranus square. Behind the scenes in our life and in the structures of our life, the banking system, the political system, behind the scenes have been getting a complete overhaul. And we're going to start seeing the proof of that come forward in this calendar year. So what does that mean for you? What do you want to express? Leo rules creative self-expression, and it's your leadership abilities, your ability to have confidence and to come forward with who you really are. And so what does that look like in your life? And a lot of people have been kind of maybe not exactly comfortable with who they really are, or don't really know who they really are. So it's like kind of getting to know this essential self and living a life that's more in alignment with that, rather than in alignment with the lies we've been told about who we are. And so this is a massive, massive time right now to uncover your gifts and reclaim the parts of yourself back that have been cast aside, and get ready to express a new you in the world. And you're really feeling these energies as we have the sun in Aquarius now. And even though we still have Venus and Pisces there with Chiron, and Mars is just about to move into Aries, we're going to feel a different energy here, more fire, more hope, the Aquarius energy of the air, energy of being able to step back and get a different perspective on things. So things are the mood is going to lighten a little bit. And this is a great time here in the first part of February to kind of orient yourself on this track. And so it's also a great time with this Venus activation and Chiron, and finding those deeper gifts, and finding the part of our society that's been cast aside, and finding the part of you that has been cast aside, to think about the goddess activation that starts on not this next Monday, but the following Monday, February 6th. That's going to be meeting every week for 8 weeks. And it's a really great opportunity to get on board with the whole you and find that access within yourself to your power and to your juicy goddess energy, to the life you want to live that's connected to the energy of the universe. And so I hope you can consider joining me for that. And you can find out more at adrianelise.com/goddess-activation. So here we have this year of expressing the truth of who we are with this Leo. And so this Aquarius new moon is leading into the next full moon. So the new moon is the beginning of the cycle. The full moon is a completion energy. So in 2 weeks is when we have this first eclipse. And it's a beginning of 2017 energies, but also a completion of the old, as we're having this really intense Venus Chiron square Saturn thing going on. And we've got some other aspects that are really really kind of bringing us to this point of wanting to move forward in our healing. So a lot of healing energy, a lot of wanting to move forward in this breakdown and new discovery of who we really are. The Pluto-Uranus square with Jupiter opposing Uranus, and they are pretty much exact right now, and they're just pulling against each other, and then they're going to come apart, and then Jupiter is going to go into retrograde, and then they're going to be together for a little while longer. And all year, really, we're feeling this energy. So Jupiter's the expander, expanding that energy of Uranus, expanding the awakening into our true self, into who we really are, a rebirth of humanity, a rebirth of the individual. So the rebirth demands us to completely let go of our karma. And that's what all these intense aspects are about. And so if you can go into that pain, like I talked about on the video leading up to this activation, and use that to guide yourself to the belief systems that are no longer serving you, and to feel into the pain in a way that you can also detach yourself from it in this Aquarian way of being like, okay, wait, what does this mean? What's the higher purpose of this? Why am I here again? And underneath is that programming that's keeping you from who you really are, and the gifts of who you really are. So Chiron, the wounded healer, in your chart is where you're going to have your wounds, but also underneath that, your greatest gifts and what you have, what you've built over many lifetimes to bring to the planet right now, right here. And 2017 is an amazing year ahead where people who are ready to step into the truth of who they are and activate into their purpose here on the planet in this shifting time. It's can be a really satisfying time for a lot of people who have been waiting and waiting and waiting for more permission to be themselves. And so the energy is supporting that right now in 2017. Take advantage of it, because we are building powerful energy up until 2020. And why not get on that train now? Why not say, hey, I am done wallowing and getting stuck again and again in these belief systems that are keeping me feeling shameful about myself, and I'm ready to drop all this. Now, to drop all that, we have to drop our karma. To drop our karma, that's all contracts. That's everywhere that anyone hurt you or you hurt someone else. And so it's a whole different attitude towards life, where it's like, I love you and thank you, and I love you and I thank you. And where can I love more? Where can I love more here? It's not a doormat. It's not letting people trample over you. It actually helps you have better boundaries and be more compassionate. The most compassion you can have is to be able to have good boundaries in this world. And so when we can allow ourselves to have that psychic space that we need, and this is what Venus is really speaking about in this Aquarius new moon as it comes up with Chiron. It's saying, yeah, we're wounded. Yeah, we've done a bunch of bullshit, humanity. It's been quite a journey, quite a road through the Piscean age of religious domination and genocide and war and just tribal warfare, tribal rivalry from the beginning. And we're growing out of this now. So that's why these planets, that's why Chiron's in Pisces. We're growing out of this. We're coming into a different strength, a different identity within the individual, one that is beyond commandments, needing to understand. It's like we are coming into this place where we are realizing the spiritual nature of things and our connection to everything. And then that's when we can value these things about ourselves that may have been devalued by society, by our family, by conditioning, and say, hey, wow, this is really important. This experience I've gone through that showed me these things has really helped me see who I really am and see the gifts I have to help other people through these types of things. And so it's a huge opportunity in this year and this month to vision and imagine and get in touch with, and that's what the activation is going to be about, this higher service part of yourself that wants to bring forward the gifts, wants to step out of karma and be available to the world on a different level, to come out of the stories of pain and find a way to see a bigger picture and to see that everything that's gotten us here, no matter how traumatic it's been, it's gotten us here, and it's time to move forward now. And so this re-identification of humanity has to do with understanding that, humanity doesn't resonate anymore with, even though we have these stories that we're being fed in the media and this programming that keeps playing out about having an enemy, we all want the same thing, regardless of what side you're on. There are no sides. And this is what's going to be coming forward in this manifestation in the outside world, this expression of the changes that have been going on behind the scenes in our lives and other people's lives, in the political structures, in societal structures, banking structures. We are going to be seeing things for how they really are, and all of the truth out there points to one thing, and that we are one tribe. And there's lots of different manifestations of life and all different levels of experience available for humanity. But we are still one collective experience. And when we get on the page with that, when we get to widen our knowledge of the truth and see that we're not alone here in the universe, that's just going to be this massive shift. And we're just moving out of this time. We're moving out of war, and we're moving out of victim, and we're moving out of tribal rivalry, and we're moving out of enemy, and all those stories are just washing away. And this is this Venus and Chiron and Pisces, and saying the goddess has returned, and the goddess sees the right way, and the right way is in alignment with nature, with source, and so it's like I talked about coming out of these authoritarian energies with all this Capricorn energy, and it's like, yeah, we have an authority, and that's our true self. That's who we are in spirit, who we are, pretending we don't know that we are. We're manifesting here as a way to understand, come to true consciousness about who we really are. And it's just a massive game changer. So I hope you're on board for this amazing 2017 journey of activation. I'm here. I'm Adrienne Elise. I'm here because I am passionate about helping people have an empowered awakening. People used to go out and seek spiritual guidance or spiritual awakening, be like, oh, I want to be spiritual. I want to go on this path and awaken my abilities. And it's like, that's not how it is these days. It's just happening to you. There's no choice. And so I have dedicated my life to tools that can help support the process of awakening. So I hope you'll join me on an empowered awakening experience and for the goddess activation. But for right now, let's tap into this new moon energy and just go ahead and arrive here in this moment. We're going to get into this Aquarius energy of seeing the future, seeing that humanity has been on the brink of evolution, held back by a rubber band for a few 2,000 years too long. And it's time for that rubber band to break and humanity to leap off the edge of its evolution and find out the truth about how far we really have come, at least a small amount of us, in this exploration of what's out there. And that's an interesting thing, because the picture I chose for this activation is a water spout on the moon of Jupiter. And so this is a huge revelation, not to the people who have been following what's really been going on, but to mass humanity, this should be a huge revelation. It's not just like, oh, maybe there's some signs of water out there. It's like, no, we have a freaking geyser. There is tons of life and tons of stuff out there that we have been kept from, because it's technology that'll take away the domination of the oil companies. And there's just no way forward but to fix this problem and come into the truth. And so it's a really super exciting time to be alive and be a part of this awakening experience. And that in our individual lives is about coming into those individual gifts and allowing ourselves to bring those to the world. and have this satisfying life. And that is the juicy goddess energy that the class activation is about, using the goddess archetypes and understanding and finding permission to the divine feminine within all of us, within each of us, finding access to that juicy energy so we can live that life that is our birthright. And on the vibrational level that we really want to live, and in the purpose we really want to live, and in the energy of excitement and joy of this, the truth of this existence, not the pain and misery they told us it was. So let's go ahead and tap into this new moon in Aquarius energy and go ahead and feel yourself connected into Mother Earth. Just paying attention to the base of your spine and sending out a grounding cord deep into the center of the earth. And just feel the earth awakening. And this is really what this time is about. This time right now is close to the cross-quarter day called Candlemas. And so it's a time when people would make candles, and it was a celebration of getting through the darkest time of the winter in the Northern Hemisphere, and a celebration of the warmth that they could feel growing underneath their feet. That even though the snow's on the ground, it still may be cold, there's seeds under there, and they're starting to kind of shake a little bit. They're starting to just slightly awaken. And, you know, metaphorically, that's exactly where we are as we move into this Aquarian age. We are shaking seeds and we're under the ground, and but you can feel the warmth coming. You can feel the changes. So go ahead and just feel into Mother Earth. Mother Earth is going right along with us in this evolutionary vibrational change that's happening on the planet. And so just feel into this energy, electromagnetic connection to the earth that's in an activation process. And just feel yourself grounded into that. And taking a few deep breaths. And paying attention to the area of your heart. Coming into heart frequency resonance. Resonant frequency with Mother Earth. Heart Math Institute has shown that this heart resonant frequency affects the people around you. So just see this ripple, a wave going out, electromagnetic pulse from your heart. It's making your all of your neighbors or wherever you're at, if there's any people around, just come into heart resonant frequency. Just floating along with Mother Earth, exactly in time. Exactly in time, which is no time. Feel yourself moving into the portal of the heart. Bring your consciousness to the area of the heart. Moving into still point. There's no past, there's no future, there's just right now, right here. Leave everything behind. And just use this moment, this powerful energy of the new moon in Aquarius, 8 degrees Aquarius. Just move into still point. Deeply into the now. Just feeling, sending out a ripple to your neighborhood, bringing your whole neighborhood into still point. Just whoa, guys, can we take a break here? Things have been going fast. Things are moving right now as Mercury has come out of its shadow of retrograde and all the planets are in forward motion for just another week. planets, they move, the days, the sun moves, the moon moves, and everything's constantly changing. But there's a part of you that doesn't change at all. And we're just going to go there now. This is your Buddha self. This is your higher dimensional self, your connection to the cosmos. And just see the cosmos and the expansiveness and how your life is just a little part of that. Your daily life is an expression and experience of something bigger that doesn't go through cycles. And when things get really intense in life, you can remember this part of yourself. It's above, bigger, beyond, that can look down, almost like a grown-up looking down in a child's world, or like a child looking in a grown-up's world. There's a bigger picture here. You might not understand fully. This is probably the best mantra that you could live by right now. It's like, I could be wrong. There's a bigger picture here. There's something more. The minute we think we know, we usually feel that we don't know anything at all. So just letting it all be. And feel yourself growing distance and distance from those issues and problems you've been dealing with in your daily life. And just knowing that from far enough away, they make complete and total sense. There's nothing to figure out. It's just a process and it's happening. But you can be here. This is the self that we are having an opportunity to birth ourselves into, this Uranus and Aries and Pluto and Capricorn. This is a self that has one authority, and that's source. So the truth becomes not a concept or a belief or an idea, but an energy. And feel that truth growing in you. And what does it look like? What does your Buddha self look like? Is there a color that you see? And where is it growing in your body? Your heart, in your belly? Feel all of your whole body open to this Buddha energy. This connection to your highest self outside of agenda. One agenda to make enough room, to continue to make room for source energy to express itself. And it can be fun and it can be unique, which is what Chiron is showing us. Uranus and Aries. We all have our own beautiful, unique expression, but what we're expressing isn't our unique self. And if we could see this, really see this, all violence and war would just stop. This is the transformation available for humanity in 2017 and beyond. Just feel yourself in your heart. in still point, in the deepest peace you've ever felt before, and just sending that ripple out. Deep peace, heart resonance to your neighborhood. And imagine this ripple continues as a wave is the form of female energy, this vortex energy, this free energy that is perpetual, based on perpetual motion. So be the spark and send a wave of peace, still point of heart frequency resonance, of the truth, out to your neighborhood. But this, see how powerful of a spark in the initiating this wave that can continue and continue and continue. Just imagine it continues and continues until it joins up with somebody else sending out a wave of heart frequency resonance. Just imagine that this goes through all walls, all grids, all through mountains. It's going along the waters, just claiming the truth and how we really want to live. Just taking a few deep breaths and feel your wave of heart frequency resonance come up with other waves. Just feel this Venus love energy, love and hope and nourishment, nurturing, a wave of this energy across the whole earth, affecting all the waters inside the earth and outside the earth. Just claiming the earth back as whole and complete, claiming back all parts of the goddess. We have let the energies tell us that our planet isn't a goddess, or that goddess, female, deserve to be treated in horrible ways. But now we understand that she's a goddess and that she's a part of us. So Venus, this energy, this wave is about this self-care, our ability to stand up, get out of our busy lives and say, hey, I gotta take care of me now. How that affects the people around you does not matter one iota. You're the only one who can take care of you and your needs. So go ahead and make that commitment to yourself, your truth. When you take care of yourself in real, intimate, sweet ways, you're nurturing the goddess within. You're allowing that baby, inner child, to have a rebirth. And you're growing the compassionate goddess energy on the planet. So just go ahead and think of one thing that is a self-care thing that you really love to do, or what comes to mind right now that would help you in claiming this level of peace in your life. Because what if your job here, your passion, your passionate purpose is to be a pillar of peace? And what might help you do that? What's something that you could give to yourself, like Venus wants us to do? It's time to go and lick our wounds a little bit, take our time to process and heal, and cry our tears and express our story. to go and find the nurturing we need in this life. And what feels most nurturing to you right now that you could allow for yourself in the future and ongoing to support this level of peace. Just feel that energy of nurturing and allow it to surround your whole being. Mother Earth, Gaia, awakening is awakening the whole goddess. The whole goddess is a whole woman. She's sexy. She's fertile. She's renewing and regenerating and healing. She's nourishing. She's strong. She feels safe in the world because she understands the greater connection to the whole. Calling all elder women, the elders, the ancients, the masters, to help us and for the elders on the planet to awaken into their grandmother status and bring us an ability to be whole in our world. What does our life look like when Mother Earth is allowed to flourish as a full-bodied woman? And just take a few deep breaths. Just imagine breathing into the earth, seeing her renewal into the truth of who she is as a whole energy, whole and complete, as you rebirth yourself into this energy of feeling whole and complete. Just taking a few deep breaths and feeling that electromagnetic connection with Mother Earth. So this level of nurturing and self-care and peace is the message for right now of how we move forward. We move forward in a way that we can be very nice to ourselves. We see so many people really busy and so much in their life, you know, and it's just a challenge to be able to make time to come down and feel your feelings and be on the earth. And so a great way to do this is to create little rituals in your life where you can do the same thing each day, or you can do something one time a week that keeps you in rhythm with the earth. And this is going to be really helpful as we go through all these energetic changes. Be like, oh yeah, okay, it's this day, I do this. Okay, that grounds me out. You know, it's this time of day, I do this. And there's definitely a lot of power in when the light changes and the sunset and sunrise and sunset. So go ahead and take a few deep breaths and allow yourself to begin to come back into your body, come back into your regular everyday awareness, bringing with you this still point, bringing with you this heart frequency resonance. Feel the strength of what we were able to create today and how powerful that is going up against the other energies that are being fed to us as the truth right now. This resonant frequency is so powerful, and peace and loving more and seeing the truth more and being the truth more, who we really are, humanity, is the medicine for this planet right now, and just letting everything else go on around you and just reaffirm and re-identify with the fact that you are that, that is everything and doesn't change. It's always there inside of each of us. We've just been playing a game to pretend it wasn't. But that's the power of this connection to source. And once enough humans reconnect in this way, these stories are game over. So it's really important work that you're doing right now, being right here together with this group and just being you on the planet and recognizing that you're making more room, going through what you're going through to make more room for light so that you can be the light and be helping people as we go through these changes. So pat yourself on the back and nurture yourself through this experience of whatever's happening right now as these core wounds are coming up. And go ahead and just, when you're ready, come out of meditation and bring with you into your regular everyday life this awareness. And you know, sometimes it feels like when things are really intense, it's hardest to stay grounded, it's hardest to stay connected, it's hardest to remember that there's a whole bigger picture going on. But sometimes it can be easier. If things get really intense for you over this next couple of weeks, as we're in this cycle of digging up our wounds and trying to heal ourselves through them, just remember that when it's really intense and you're pushed to the very edge, that's because your true self is right behind the other side of that door. And if you can stop, and even though you don't believe it at all in your conscious mind, but be like, oh yeah, I'm that. I'm really that. I'm really connected to the whole of everything. Science has proven this to us. And here we are still living this totally separated, drama-filled existence. And so go into the drama and then take that intensity and use it as a way to say, I am not that. That's happening in my life, but that's not who I am. That's not my identity. It's not what I'm choosing to identify with in this moment. For one moment, I'm just going to take a minute and identify with the wholeness of me, the part of me that has source right here within and was never separated, and I am connected to everything. And so good luck with that. And I hope that you can join me for the Goddess Activation 8-week series. That's going to be an opportunity to activate the chakras according to the goddess, using goddess archetypes to help guide our chakra activations and go through each of the major chakras of the body and then integrate all of that into this new energy field, building a temple to host the goddess in your life. And what a gift that is for you and your juicy life ahead, and for the planet, because you are allowing that energy to be and radiate out and demonstrate to the people around you. So I hope you'll join me in the future for more activations, and I hope you have a great time. I'll see you at the full moon in Leo, full moon lunar eclipse on February 10th, if not before. Thanks so much. I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.